What's up, guys? Hazy Games here. Got another review for you today. Tonight, we're around the world. We're gonna be reviewing, talking about Detroit Become Human. And I'll be honest with you, this game was one of the best games I have played in years, man. I gave this game some 10 scores, which is very hard to get out of me when I'm reviewing games. Yeah. So we're just going to kind of jump right into it here. This game was phenomenal. I don't know why I waited so long to play it. It really was just a great story-driven, dialogue-driven, cinematic-driven experience. It was great. It was a great game. If you haven't played this game, pick this game up. Pick this game up on a sale. Ask for this game for a birthday gift or something. It is worth it, man. If you like story-driven games where your decisions, your reaction time matters and affects what happens in the game, pick this game up. So I have 11.7 hours. I believe the completion time on this game is somewhere between like, I think 8 and 12 hours, depending on your play style, and things like that, and how fast you progress through the story. I have 54% of the achievements. Not a huge achievement hunter. Y'all know that if you've been watching me for a while. I got some decent achievements, and what I mean by that is the achievements that haven't been acquired by many people. I have moral victory, and then there's another one that's like a 10% one around here somewhere. This one, Marcus conducted a violent riot. But I'm just gonna get some gameplay playing in the background here while we discuss. So as we always do, first and foremost is graphics. Now guys, I played this on 1440p, played pretty much everything on high. I don't usually do ultra or like extreme or anything like that. I think you're just stressing your hardware for really not that much of a visual gain. Anyways, 1440p on high. Tweak some things, has some good graphical options. Game looks fantastic, very great looking game. And keep in mind, this game came out back in 2020, I believe. And so 4 years ago, almost 5 years ago. We'll just say 5 years ago at this time, you know. So 5 years ago, this game came out, and graphically, visually, I think it's on par with games that are coming out today still. That might be just me being a homer because I love this game. But graphics is great. The level of detail was phenomenal. Atmosphere was great. It really felt like you were in a very big city, a metropolis. And it was just really immersed you into the city. The first time you step out into the city, I really took my time to, I guess, experience everything. And I sat there and I said to myself, this really gets you immersed right off the bat. Really makes you feel like you're in a big city, a big futuristic city at that. And I think they did a really good job of making you feel like this is plausible, right? Like this potentially might be like what our future could look like. They just did a really good job with it. What else we got here? Moving on to, so like I said, graphics, I give a 10 out of 10. Guys, a 10 out of 10 on graphics, man. Now, I think the last game I gave a 10 out of 10 on graphics was released this year in 2024, Hellblade: Senua's Saga 2. But this game, man, it's great looking. It is a great looking game. And I'm sure it'll look even better on 4K. Moving on to Sound of Music. The Sound of Music, I give an 8 out of 10. Thought they did a really good job with the sound of the music. Did a really good job with like the ambiance in certain areas. Like the explosions sounded all really good. The vehicles moving through the city sounded good. There was a particular scene where there was like a street performer, and I thought the music in that street performance was really well done. There was also a scene where Marcus is playing the piano, and it's an option to play the piano. So when you get to that point and you see a piano just randomly sitting someplace towards the end of the game, I encourage you to play it and play all the way through the song, because I don't know, man. I like piano first off, so that might be a little bit why I like the song so much, but I thought it was really well composed. The music was really good, man. 8 out of 10. Characters and story. Here's another part where this game really just blew me out of the water. Like, if there's a game that wants to learn how to write a good story with good voice acting and some good dialogue, look at this game. Like, go through and play this game, go through and look at the dialogue they use in this game, go through and look at the voice actors they use in this game. So good. So good. These characters and story were so good. I'm gonna try to not give too many spoilers away, because nobody likes that, obviously. So characters and story, there was 3 different androids that you kind of followed around. There's Marcus, Connor, and Alice. And the story was just really well put together. It kind of starts off with these 3 different androids and 3 different scenarios, 3 different lives essentially. And I'm not going to go into too much detail about the story and the characters because I don't want to give anything away if you do choose to pick this game up and play it. But there's the 3 stories start in very different places in the story, right? And then it just melds and comes full circle and meshes so well together in the end and really throughout the game. And what I mean by that is they do a really good job of building up to that mesh where everything is kind of visualized, the stories, if I had another hand, there'd be another hand over here, right? And they're just kind of all slowly meshing together, and you kind of start putting little snippets from each droid's story, and you start picking up things that you're well, isn't this person didn't Connor talk about this person in this scenario, and didn't Kara is the other android, my bad, and didn't Kara talk about this person or interact with this individual or go to this specific place, or did Marcus do this or that? And man, when things started clicking in my head and the story started coming together, it was nice. They did a really good job of giving you enough, I guess, breadcrumbs to start putting things together as you go. And then when you get there, you're like, man, I was right. Or you're dang, I was wrong about that. And you start to see the story coming to a head and end. It was just very well done. I'm gonna skip ahead here. Maybe get to some outside stuff. Here we go. So here's some city in the background going. But yeah, character story, definitely 10 out of 10, man. If you like if you love a game that has very good story writing elements and very good voice acting and very good characters and character development, the character development in this game was phenomenal. The character development in this game was so good. So good, man. Some of the best that I've seen, honestly. But we're getting kind of long, already at about 10 minutes. So let's get into gameplay. Gameplay was another place that this game really shined. I give gameplay a 9 out of 10. I really loved, there was these, I don't think I have any in my recordings, unfortunately, because they didn't happen too often. But there was times where there were these climbing puzzles, I guess I would call them. And you would kind of move, and then you would move the camera. And so you would hit a button, start this video rolling. And then you would see yourself in the video, and there'd be shadows of where you were moving to next. And depending on where you were looking with the camera, or different places you could jump or different things you could grab. And then you would go through this sequence of saying, I want to jump here. And then you would say, okay, well, I'm going to go here. But once you got to that point, that next step, it would say whether it would be like this object is too far away to complete this mission, or you can't jump from here, or this you're not high enough to go to this next spot. So then you'd have to backtrack in the video a little bit, look around, go a different route, and then complete like a sequence of jumps or maneuvers to get the movie to play. And then you'd hit a button with whatever character you were, and it would complete this sequence of actions in like a little cinematic action type movie. So I thought that was very well done. It was kind of cool little puzzle. You can pick the order of things you could potentially do in the missions. And what I mean by that is when you bring up the screen to see like mission objectives, there will be different exclamation marks, and you go to these exclamation marks to complete different objectives or different tasks. But the thing is, if you're not using a walkthrough, which I did not, you go to these things and interact with them and do them, and you could potentially progress the story further to a point to where you can't go back and look at the other exclamation marks. So I realized that, and when I realized that, I was very careful when I was in the mission area to try to go to every exclamation mark before I progressed the story. So it was very interesting because these different exclamation marks could potentially unlock a different path in the story that you could potentially go. And this game is kind of cool. It's honestly kind of the first game I've seen do this, where it's depending on how many different paths you complete on like the flow chart going up and down to the end, you get so many points for each story path you unlock, right? So the goal is to get as many points as you can at the end of the game. So you want to unlock as many story paths as you can as you're going through the game. I haven't seen anything like this before. And if I have, it's been years. But it's cool, because what that means is I'm not going to have the same gaming experience as my friend. Like, your decisions really do impact this game's story. 100%. Like, this isn't those games that are like, your decisions make an impact in the world, and then like it doesn't do anything. Like, it makes your building a different color because of the way you answered something, right? No. This gives you a decision. Do you want to shoot this person or save this person or run away? And depending on all three of those answers or decisions have different impacts. And it's awesome. It's freaking awesome, man. You feel like you have so much power in the way that the story's going. So much power in the way the story's going. All right. On to the next thing. Still on gameplay. I loved the different key combos that you've kind of been seeing on here. I thought it was very well put together. The key combos to me made sense, as it would kind of feel in real practice, if that makes sense. I realize it's done finger combinations. The action scenes where you had to react in a certain amount of time to make sure that you don't get punched or shot or you save somebody, man, they were so good. And it was stressful at times. Some of the key combinations or mouse movements. Yeah, there's mouse movements in this where you have to like click on the screen and move your mouse a certain way or whatever. It's stressful. There was times where I was missing all the time and I was getting like my ass beat. And then I would be like, oh man, I was like, I gotta get my buttons right. I gotta save myself. I gotta get through this. Like, I'm not trying to die. The action scenes were good. And within that, there might be like, you'll do a few button combinations and then it'll get down to like a pivotal moment in the story. And you'll have, 5 seconds, 10 seconds maybe to react, where it'll pop up like a big display of like, it'll show your main character, say a character in the distance, and then somebody you want to save. And it'll be like, do you want to grab this to shield yourself? Do you want to run to save this person? Or do you want to shoot this person that will accomplish the goal of saving this person? And it was so cool. There was so much stress because you're sitting there trying to read what your different options are. And then you also have the time factor. So I'm scrambling around, you're scrambling around there with keys like what are these different options? Oh no, I only got 5 seconds left. What do I want to do? Do I want to shoot him? Do I want to run away? Do I want to save him? Do I want to not save him? It's just mass chaos in those certain areas, and it felt so good. It felt like you were in those moments. You were making those hard decisions. It was amazing. Man. I hope you can tell how much I enjoyed this game through my enthusiasm, because I don't really show a lot of emotion sometimes when I'm doing these reviews, but this game was really amazing. On to the last thing, bugs and cons. I randomly crashed one time. I have no reason why, I don't know why. So one random crash, everything else was flawless. The only other con was really, this game felt like you were watching kind of like a TV series. So I could really only play, and I could only really sit down and play for like 1 or 2 hours. And then I would like switch games or go on to something else. But it was still very well done and put together. I don't want that to put a sour taste in your mouth. And I mean, I'm not saying you can't sit down and play this game for, no life it for the 10 hours or 8 hours it is in a day, sure. But I myself, 1 or 2 hours and I go jump on something else. Let me know down in the comments, guys. If you've played Detroit Become Human, let me know what you think. Do you think it deserves some of these 10 out of 10 ratings that I gave it? Do you think this game was trash? I thought it was amazing. Please like, please sub. Hope everyone had a Christmas. It's been a pretty good year. Hope you all had a good year. Hope everyone has a great start to the next year. Much love. Have a good day or night wherever you're at in the world, and we will see you on the next one.